Welcome to Coach's Corner, Cat fans. Thanks for joining me once again. This is post week 2. So all of a sudden the season's flying by and right into it. So we're going to review the Bellefontaine game, preview Fort Recovery, and like the last couple weeks, I'm going to do a spotlight person or persons. This week it's going to be 2, and then a player spotlight with number 2, Gavin Zabrita. So backing up to Bellefontaine last week, this is what Friday nights, kind of like in high school football, are all about. Have two, we think, 2 good teams. I guess we'll find out later on in the season as we play more teams. But two good solid teams with lots of good skill players. We won the game 28-25 in an exciting game. We jumped on them early and had some opportunities really to have a couple more touchdowns that we let slip away. One late in the game that would have iced the game, and so it turned into interesting finish with we had to recover a onside kick with 2 minutes, and so that iced it. As most of you know, they have a quarterback that is committed to Ohio State, 6'3", 220, and he could really throw it. And ran a little bit, not much, but they also had a couple good receivers. So fortunately, in the first half, we had a 15-play drive and used a whole bunch of the first quarter and part of the second quarter up on just one drive. So that really kept their quarterback off the field, and it was a heck of a game. And so I've told our team, and I continue to tell them, and I will continue to tell them every week how important special teams are. So in our first 2 games, special teams have been a huge factor. Against Kenton, we dominated the special teams with kickoff. We really didn't have to punt, but with kickoff, with extra points, with 3 field goals. So huge difference in the kicking game in that first game. And then, of course, last week I talked to the players and I asked them, how many touchdowns did they score? And they said 4. I said, how many did we score? 4. And the difference was they missed an early extra point, and then you got to chase that point with going for 2, and they didn't get it. So they found themselves chasing that point, missing three extra point opportunities. So that was the difference in the score, 28-25. So our JVs go to Bellefontaine the next day and win the game 31-28. So a field goal was again part of the difference in that game. So special teams is such an important part of our success over the years, and so I'm proud of our guys that play all those special teams. So again, good finish. Bellefontaine is a Division III. We feel like if they do what they did last year, they went 8-2 on the season. So we think they're maybe a little bit better team this year. Hopefully they'll win 8 or 9, and that gets us lots of points. Kenton also won last week against OG. OG is in our division and in our region. So that's a good thing that Kenton beat them. So we get some good Division IV points from Kenton in winning those games. So good win, really great crowd last week. The weather was good, so it was just a good fun night for all of us that wanted the Cavaliers, I guess. So we move on to Fort Recovery this week. The Fort is coming in at 0-2, playing Wayne Trace and Urbana, and I feel like after watching films, they could be and probably should be 2-0. Just some weird plays, and last week they lost to Urbana by just a few, and I bet you they had 8 to 10 bad quarterback bad snaps from the center to the quarterback, which just killed them several times. And so I feel like they should be 2-0 on the season, or could be for sure 2-0. The Fort does not have a lot of players this year, so they're playing lots of guys full-time both ways, which I guess benefits us, although those players are pretty good. They do have about 6 or 7 senior starters, and several of those guys, several of those seniors are starting both ways, so they're going to be out there a lot. But it'd be a great win for them if they could come over to Coldwater and beat us. Certainly they would get lots of points from us and just would uplift their guys that are playing pretty well, but just haven't got 2 wins there. So Fort's coming to town Friday night at 7, our 3rd home game in a row, and then we travel next week to Anna. I really like their quarterback. Troy Holman is a guy who was a receiver and DB last year. This year he's moved to quarterback. Probably a better runner than thrower, but they are throwing quite a bit. So really good athlete, kind of a Marcel style kind of quarterback with running and combination of run and pass. So for recovery on Friday night. So a couple spotlight people, two gentlemen and then 1 player. So Chris Crone and Rod Stogler have been with the program for, since John started, since Coach Reed started in, I think, 96, 97, something like that. And they do all our stats. And it is such a blessing to have guys who enjoy to go to the games, enjoy doing the stats, take a lot of pride in those stats and getting them correct. And he sends me the stats each week. And I look over them every week just to kind of see how things are going. And if I feel like there's maybe a mistake, or if Chris sees something that he needs to correct or wants corrected or whatever it might be, he gets it taken care of. And so Rod and Chris have just done a great job over the years of traveling every week and going to wherever we go. And like I said, take a lot of pride in doing it the right way. Chris always sends out all the information after the games to all the media publications, and he does our preseason kind of. I write a little thing up, and he doctors it up and makes it sound good. And so really appreciate those two for all the work they've done over the last, I guess 20 some years. In our player spotlight, Gavin Zabrita, tomato, right? So however you like to say that. Gavin is number 2. Gavin is playing corner for us right now, playing a lot of football at corner. He's working a little bit at receiver, and he's on all our special teams. So Gavin's doing a really good job, really great attitude over the last couple of years, has really matured, and really love the way he's taken the challenge on to become a good football player and be a starter for us. So that's been awesome. If you asked me in 7th and 8th grade, would Gavin be a good high school football player? I probably would have said, boy, I'm not sure about that. But like I said, the maturity level, and just does a lot of good things. Anytime we have volunteer stuff that we help people move or work at the church, he's always in on those types of things. He's willing to help the young guys. He's always been really good in the weight room. He ran track last spring, which was really good for his speed, which has definitely helped him become a better football player. So I'm really proud of Gavin. I'm happy for him and proud of him, and he's having fun and really enjoying this senior year. So just to recap, a great win against Bellefontaine last week. Hopefully they'll continue to win. We play Fort Recovery this week. Fort's coming to town, so our 3rd home game. And so hopefully we can get another victory and keep moving forward.